Shoot, man. I don't know, fam. Let me know if I'm crazy here. But I modified Darkest Dungeon. I thought it was good. It was good games, good money, right? Just a lot of stuff in it wasn't great. And I think it had that potential to be a great game. I played part two of this. I didn't like part two. Part two's not good. I'm not going into detail. Just take my word for it, fam. It's part two's awful. So I'm just gonna jump into it. Obviously, I pretty much completely overhauled the UI. I went through all of the files, the INIs and stuff like that, the info files, and I heavily modified those too. Just gonna start from scratch. As you can see, all the DLC is in here. The DLC is actually heavily modified too. A good indicator of that is probably Color of Madness. The icon there, you can see it's recolored. That should be like a warning sign that I've modified some things internally. I'm gonna start the campaign. I usually do Darkest. I seriously think the Berserk aesthetic fits this perfectly, man. I think Darkest Dungeon is like, right on the same lines as the looks like the press start is popping up. Yeah, the press space or click has popped up so I can go in. But I was mid sentence. So I've modified Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1. I modified that up to a point where it was up to like a couple hundred gigs. I even modified a Skyrim. I got that Skyrim up to a little bit past 300 gigs. And it's those are just examples of the little things I do. I got MVC, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is a Mugen game, which means it's just 2D assets. I modified that game up to the point of being past 100 gigs. It's pretty insane, man. I just have a tendency of just overloading games, and I make them superior, but I overload them with content and stuff to a point of like no return. I'm gonna tap X here. So this is my starting skin here, which is basically Berserk. It's Guts and Casca. Again, I think Berserk fits this game perfectly, so I went ahead and just found some public release characters. Guts on the right here is, I think he's based on the Fool, which is a Profigilate character that was released, or Profigiliate. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but it's a character that was released publicly that I really like the design for the character because it held a sword in a manner that Guts will hold his Dragon Slayer. And then on the left you have Casca, who's actually an occultist. See if I can switch over here. See, on the left you have Casca, who's actually an occultist. This isn't her default costume. This is actually her second costume, which is gray. But I don't mind it. It's pretty similar to the default. But yeah, I just think Berserk just fits perfectly into Darkest Dungeon. On the left of the screen, the bottom left really, you'll quickly notice there's a heart, and then underneath that there's a like a symbol, a Darkest Dungeon symbol underneath the heart. That the heart is actually the HP for the character. You'll immediately notice it's up in the hundreds. That's because I re-rigged and modified the damage stats for every playable character and every enemy in the game. And it's not something I did overnight. It's something that I've been doing as I've been adding things to the game for years. So I'm just gonna move forward here. Okay. You'll notice the background, fam. I redid the background. The default game's background doesn't have snow. I just added snow to the background. Looks really good. And it's been expanded to be more varied and not have the same image scrolling across the background or whatever. The stats for the characters have been completely re-rigged too. For instance, I'm just gonna do an attack here. See the damage 480. The base game, it would have been like 4 points. It was like, to me it was too Fisher Price. But everything's perfectly balanced. It's right on point. I haven't had a single issue.
Teetering on the brink, facing the abyss.
Yeah, but personally, I think this is too cool, man. Like Darkest Dungeon is the greatest 2D dungeon crawling game I've ever seen, man. Like you can't top it. And these slight modifications are only just like little cosmetic things that I've tweaked just to make it superior to what it already is, you know? Look at that. That's too cool, dude.
Wherefore, heroism.
What else? I did the background modifications. I pretty much created skins from scratch for all of the characters. I completely overhauled all of the characters' hit stats, their defense and their HP, their armor stats. All the weapons have been re-rigged. Their powers have been reworked to make sense. Should I do downpour? I have to read Guts' attacks. Admittedly he has quite a few good attacks, but I usually skim through them just to see which ones I like. I like this.
Press this advantage. Give them no
Look at
quarter.
that, so cool. The length of his weapon is insane too. It's so perfect for this, man. I like the way Guts' stance looks too, because this is how Guts would actually hold the Dragon Slayer in the manga and the cartoon, like the movie or the show. And also it looks protective. Just the way he holds it back and he holds it over Casca is pretty insane. Just how well this skin worked out. By the way, I released this skin on Nexus Mods, even though I'm not on good terms with Nexus Mods.
Leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten
But
places.
yeah, this skin, I've already released this skin. It's a public release.
An ambush. Send these vermin away.
Crazy.
The rightful owner has returned.
These aren't base game enemies either. They're pretty much a mix up. These are keep in mind it's just cartoons, but it's a mix up of various enemies from like different mods that have been put in here. So basically in the default game you wouldn't see some of these characters jump out. It's gonna be a tough fight. I should be able to win it though. It's gonna be a rough one though. Looks like a lot of discouraging enemies on the right here. They're gonna make try to make my characters fearful. Alright, Guts is marked. I gotta find a way to hit hard with Guts and pick off at least the first three of them. Even though the one I want to kill is the female occult, the female in the back on the enemy row on the far right. I want to pick her off because she's gonna be a nightmare, literally. I was thinking about actually pulling her. Crap.
Injury and despondence set the stage for heroism or cowardice.
Alright. Yeah, Guts is so cool, man. He's just like in the manga too. He's very hard to kill.
Festering fear consumes the mind.
I think the occultist needs something to heal. I may be wrong. It could be already in the the arsenal of the occultist. I can't pick it when I start a new game.
Traces of emptiness
Oh
reveal
man,
themselves.
can't let them kill Casca. Can I eat? Doesn't Triangle delete it? Delete the food? She needs health, but she doesn't have a means to heal herself. This isn't good. I don't want my Casca to die. I'm gonna try to stun her. Okay, good stuff. Come on, Guts. Don't let Casca down you, buddy. Yeah, protect her. Alright, Guts is marked. That's better. When a character is marked,
The human mind,
that means all of the enemies are looking at
a
them.
robin's egg.
As it should be. Guts should be the target. I love the damage upscale too. Just adding the thousands and hundreds to the damage like this, it makes it seem more serious. You get more of a sense of dread whenever you get hit. That and the art. The art's really good. I think my art is good. So this hits the first three people. This doesn't have damage actually. This just goes stealth. This is a melee attack. According to this, it has a plus 50% critical. It bypasses stealth. Yeah, I need this. I'm gonna use this. Oh no, what happened there? How'd I miss? No, you killed my Casca.
In this sprawling
Don't worry, that
tomb,
happens sometimes. I can get Casca back. I have to get through this crazy fight, but I can get Casca back later when I get to the cart. Which I'll show it in a little bit when I actually pull through this. Yeah, the Fool is a very special character. It's the character's set up in such a way that makes it kind of, you have to know what you're doing with the character to play with it.
continue the onslaught. Destroy.
Guts. That's Guts. Shouldn't be too much fighting with Guts. I shouldn't have to hit the same character like 18 times. Because it's the Dragon Slayer. Dragon Slayer is a brutal weapon. It's known to like cleave human-like characters in half. And I think the Fool specifically, I think this class does justice.
As the fiend falls, a faint
Oh
hope
man, I can't believe I lost my Casca, man. And that sucks. I'm gonna take it all. We're gonna go to the Hamlet. I don't have a, well, I do have a key for this chest. But I don't know what if this is a trap chest. Bandage trap chest. Yeah, it's trapped. I'm not. I'm good. Alright, I'm gonna leave out. Never open a trap chest because it's just gonna harm you. Even if you use a key on it, more likely than not, it'll harm your character. What do I have here? Diurnal. -2 speed if torch below 26. Okay, so low light makes me slower. Unholy Slayer. Okay, so basically I'm stronger against unholy characters. I guess, yeah, that makes sense. The Dragon Slayer is known to kill demons. So that worked out pretty well. I replaced the load screens too, as you can see there. They're a lot more
the
colorful.
home, such as it is.
Man, I can't believe she died.
These corrupted
A hateful
areas
curse of malign miracle, it
know no
seems even death
justice,
may be defied
and
in a
we are
damnable
bound
place.
to them.
Only one of these soldiers can return to living. And I got my Casca back. Oh, that's crazy. I got
To
my
fight
Casca
the
back,
abyss,
man.
one must know it.
In fairness, usually I expect Guts to die. So you could tell, just looking at this village here, or the estate, the darkest estate, you can tell that I modified this scenery too. It's covered in snow. In the default game, there's no snow, but there's snow now.
Women and men,
Coach has been
soldiers
modified,
and
and I
archers,
modify everything in this
thieves
manner.
and
But you'll
corrupted,
see a lot of NPCs from
all
other
find their
games
way to us now that
littered
the road is clear.
all through every building and location. As you can see here, just simply skimming through these characters here, you you can easily tell that they're modded. This is a crap ton of modded characters. I'm likely gonna get this one just because I've already pre-modified it. This is just a different skin it was showing, but this is supposed to be set up so that you always get Puck when you come here to the carriage. So there you go. I already have three members of Berserk on the right here. I got Guts, Casca, and I have Puck already. I'll give it another example. I'll just show you more modded characters here. This is crap. It's a seeker. I think it's a seeker sister. But this is a modified skin I made. I just took her boobs out, and it looks really, it looks good. Looks good. Looks very adult. Another secret, another special or modded character is 2B. 2B's actually in there. She has her costumes too. She has some pretty crazy modifications like that. which is basically a downgraded version of her after she explodes or whatever. Uh, I think this is from Warhammer. It's a Space Marine. It has a lot of color options and stuff. There's just a lot of modded characters, and it's not bad starting out when you come to the stagecoach for the first time. It's not a bad selection usually, considering it has Puck included. These buildings aren't open yet because it's the first stage. I'll see what I can do here. Hmm. What's the embark button? Is it X, square? I think start. I'm gonna press start here. Nope. Select. I meant.
A mecca
So
of madness and morbidity.
here's the estate map.
It begins.
Completely overhauled. There's a lot of things modded into it DLC wise, like the Sunward Owls. That's not part of the default game. That's not an official release. That's actually a mod that was released on the internet that I implemented or added to my game. As you can see, my map is completely color coded too. I put very special colors on certain parts of the map just to make your eyes more familiar with what you're looking at, and there's sensible color alterations. For instance, the courtyard is basically the courtyard is like vampires and stuff. It's on the top left there. It's the red portion of the map on the top left of the screen. The courtyard is supposed to be where you encounter a lot of vampires. You become vampiric, etc. On the bottom left of the map, you'll see the farmstead. The farmstead used to be light blue, which to me made no sense. I didn't like the light blue. I get it. They were trying to go for an alien aesthetic, I believe, but I think orange fits it better. It's just orange aesthetically fits with the alien slash magma aesthetic that they were going for, and I just chose to use it. Everything else has been color coded too, like the ruins. I use the color brown because it's ruins. Ruins are old. I use green for the warrens just because the warrens has greenery in it, and it's that's what I think of when I see somewhere that has a lot of plant life. The wield, of course, I use the blue color because the wield is very cold. It's a very dank, very dead, very very fungi infested area. So I just chose to use blue because it makes sense. Sunward Owls, of course, is light blue. Um, or rather, Sunward Isles is actually red and tan because it's actually a Japanese. It has a Japanese aesthetic to it, and those are more Japanese colors, and etc. etc. But this is the end goal for the map. The moon on the top right on the map, you can see it there. I chose to use the eclipse from Berserk because I'm going for Berserk theme. Remember, and yeah, this is the end result, man. It's just completely overhauled. And on the far left there of the screen, you can see a list of text. It says ruins, warrens, wield, cove, courtyard, farmstead, and sunward owls. Underneath each one of those titles is actually a list of what type of enemies are inside of those areas, so that you can properly prepare for when for when you go into it. What's something else I can showcase? Just trying to show as much as I can before still embark. Yeah, I need to set up my. There we go.
The preparedness.
So here's
Those
the
who never
provision
leave
screen here. It's been pretty much overhauled too.
in
I chose to
blood.
put Shirke in the as the person who gives the provisions. She's there with her little fairy friend or whatever. On the far left, as you can see, there's a lineup showing you just like what equipment you likely should bring into every area. It has the shelf pretty much overhauled. There's a lot of foreground assets that I've thrown in here too, and this is the end result, man. I think it just looks way superior to the default game. We're back out here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to show you, fam. Just like the how my darkest dungeon is set up. I might drop it on a USB and swing it by and just give it to you so you can play this joint on your free time. It's got a lot of content caked into it. I'm talking about hundreds on top of hundreds of gigs. It's this game is beautiful, man. If I said it once, I'll say it again. This game is a masterpiece. This is my darkest dungeon super modded. I'm gonna keep the video short. Gotta go.